McMullen, Mr. McMullen asked me to check these over with you. They must be at the papers by Friday. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Gaynor McMullen of New York and Palm Springs gave a large reception at the Manhattan Club following the marriage of their daughter, Catherine, to Jeffrey Clark Winters. The wedding was performed in St. Dominic's Church by the Reverend John Fitzgibbon, a longtime family friend. The former Miss McMullen, a graduate of Finch Junior College...
I'm sure if Mr. McMullen gave you the details, it's all very fitting and proper.
Is something wrong, Mrs. McMullen?
Do you notice something wrong with me?
No.
Then why do you ask?
You'd like to check these over and perhaps make a few changes.
Yes, leave them. Miss Donnelly, call St. Dominic's. I'd like to speak to the older priest, Father O'Malley.
The older priest is Father Fitzgibbon. His assistant's Father O'Malley.
Oh, yes, of course, Father Fitzgibbon. Tell him I'd like to see him this afternoon. And it's most important.
Well, I suppose with the wedding you have a lot to talk about.
Yes, Father Fitzgibbon. We have a lot to talk about.
Mrs. McMullen?
She had an appointment to see Father Fitzgibbon, but he's not back from visiting Mrs. Feeney at the hospital. She said it's important, and if no one else were available, she'd speak with you. I'm sure she didn't mean it that way.
Oh, that's okay, Mrs. Featherton. I'm used to being the utility infielder around here.
Father O'Malley?
Oh, yes, I'm Father O'Malley.
I had hoped to see Father Fitzgibbon.
Yes, but, perhaps I can help.
I'm not sure. It's about my daughter, Sally. She's being married this month by Father Fitzgibbon.
Yes, I know, to the Winters boy. You must be very happy. Didn't Father Fitzgibbon marry you and your husband? We were discussing it the other day. I think Father's words were, I only hope the second marriage turns out as well as the first.
Father, I plan to call off this marriage.
Call it off? Why?
Because I don't want my daughter to go through the same horror that I've been through.
Go through the same horror she went through? I can't believe it. Why, the McMullens have always been such a happy married couple.
Father, I had the feeling the whole time Kitty McMullen was talking to me that she was slightly crocked.
Crocked? A woman like Kitty McMullen does not get crocked.
Well, let's say a little under the weather then, or suffering from the thickness.
Well, you must be mistaken, my boy. Why, Kitty and Larry McMullen are fine, upstanding people.
Pillars of the community, huh?
Exactly. Larry's father was a successful builder. Larry himself is an architect. And, mind you, a fine one, I'm told. Builds a lot of the modern houses up in Westchester. Kitty designs the interiors.
Still, she wanted to call off the marriage.
Marriage is a responsibility. As much for the parents as for the bride and groom. She probably went to one of these showers, had a cocktail, got a little...
Crocked?
The word I had in mind was woozy. She'll think better of it after a cup of tea. I'll call her after supper and we'll talk this over. Oh, yes, Kitty. I'll be there. Tomorrow night, 6 sharp. And thank you for asking me. I'll be looking forward to talking to you two. Goodbye.
Tom Caldwell's here.
Did you tell him Father O'Malley's out this evening?
I did.
Well, what did he say?
Good. He wants to talk to you.
Oh, well, let's have him in here. Ah, Tom, come in.
Hey, Father.
Hi, my boy.
Fine, Father.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, it's not me, Father. It's Jerry Donnelly. She's in the parish.
Jerry Donnelly. Yes, I know Jerry Donnelly. Moved up here about a year ago from Charlestown.
Charlotte, Father.
Yes, yes. The pastor sent me a letter. Fine girl. What about her?
Well, she's sort of a friend of mine. We met through mutual friends, and I agree she's a fine girl, but... Well, she's in a little trouble now, Father, so I persuaded her to come and see you.
She needed persuading.
Quite a bit, I'm afraid, Father. I told her you'd see her tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening? I've just this minute accepted a dinner invitation for tomorrow evening. Well, couldn't we make it some other time? Father O'Malley could talk to her.
Well, Father, this is a very personal matter, and she'd prefer talking to you. Father, this girl needs help, and right now. It's something that can't wait.
All right, Tom. Have her here tomorrow evening.
Thanks, Father.
I'll ask Father O'Malley to be my, what is it, pinch
hitter, Father?
That's a hitter, yeah. A little bit disappointed, but he can't be helped.
Good night, Father.
Goodbye, Tom.
Disappointed? Not at all. I was delighted when Kitty told me you were coming. Not that I wasn't looking forward to seeing Father Fitzgibbon. Can I offer you a drink?
No, thanks, not right now.
Mind if I have one?
Of course not.
Kitty's upstairs putting on the finishing touches. Sally and Jeff are out somewhere looking at silverware patterns. They should be back any moment, but you know how it is when these kids are in love, Father. Controversial subject, Martinis. Each man has his own pet theory. I think the secret is not to bruise the gin.
I'll have to remember that. You never know when it might come in handy. Larry, it's a great place you have here.
Well, thank you, Father. I'm glad you like it. We did it ourselves. You've never met Kitty, have you?
Only this afternoon.
Oh?
Didn't she tell you?
Must have slipped her mind. About the wedding plans, huh?
Mr. McMullen, your wife came to tell us that there'd be no wedding.
She what?
Oh, hello, Father.
Good evening.
I'm so happy you could make it.
Kitty, Father O'Malley just told me something incredible.
Larry, would you be good enough to fix me a drink?
Did you tell Father O'Malley the wedding was off?
Mm-hmm.
Kitty, what are you up to?
One thing I'll say for Larry, Father, he makes an excellent martini.
So he's been telling me.
Kitty, I asked you a question. After all, Sally's my daughter, too, you know.
All right. As long as you put it so quaintly, I'll tell you. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Oh, Sally.
Oh, excuse me, Father O'Malley.
Hello, Sally. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Father.
I hope you're staying for dinner.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Well, did you two kids find what you were looking for?
Well, I don't know about Sally, but I found exactly what I was looking for.
Oh, Father, that boy's just got to be Irish.
Mother, wait till you see the pattern. I know you'll love it. Even Jeff has to admit it's elegant.
Even Jeff. Well, I like that.
Oh, not that Jeff doesn't have good taste.
Hey, you better stop while you're ahead.
But seriously, when it comes to silverware and things that go into making a house, men are notoriously disinterested. Isn't that right, Father?
Oh, I can't go along with that. Take your dad, for example.
My dad's an exceptional man.
You'll have to excuse us, Father. My daughter and I have a mutual admiration society.
Yes, Father, I have a terrible Oedipus complex.
Now you know why I want all girls.
I'd like to propose a toast.
May you always be as happy as you are today.
That would be impossible. I'll just settle if we're as happy as you and Mom.
Heaven forbid.
Has the Donnelly girl called yet? She's almost half an hour late.
No, Father, but,
But what?
well, she's been walking up and down in front of the rectory for the past 15 minutes. It looks like the poor girl is trying to work up the courage to come in.
Well, never mind that. You go out and tell the dear child to come in.
Well,
are off on their date. And the time has come, as the rhinoceros said, to speak of many things. It's taken 4 of these for me to get up my courage to tell you.
Serious as all that?
Serious enough for Larry to have left the room.
Well, I thought he was merely being polite.
Don't get taken in by Larry's charm.
I didn't think I was.
He knows what I'm going to say. And he hasn't got the nerve to deny it or the courage to face it.
Kitty, I take it there's something wrong between you and Larry.
Father, everything's wrong between Larry and me.
Tell me, how is all the family down in Charleston?
Charlotte, Father.
Of course, of course.
Father, I want you to understand that I didn't want to come to see you. I only came because I promised Tom. Well, it's not really true. I suppose I had to tell somebody
Tell what?
that I'm in love.
Well, now, that's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
I'm not so sure you'll think it's so wonderful when I tell you that he's married. Father, don't look at me like that. I didn't plan it this way. These things just happen.
Yes, yes, I know they do. I know they do.
I tried not to, but I love him. He's everything I want.
Except that he's married. Except that he belongs to someone else.
I can't help that, and neither can he. We'll just have to make the best of it.
Is that what he says?
Yes, but it's not what you think.
And what do I think?
Well, that it's something sordid and cheap.
And you want me to tell you that it isn't. Is that it?
I don't know what I want, Father. Why does he have to be married?
Tell me, child, how old are you?
22.
And you're dead certain you love this man?
Oh, yes, I love him. And, Father, don't you believe that love is the most precious thing we have in life?
Yes, I do. But you know, there's a thin line between love and lust.
Oh, you make it sound so dirty.
I'm trying not to.
It's nothing like that. I love him, and he loves me.
Does he? Love isn't selfish, grasping. It's giving. Jerry, if you truly love a person, you want what's best for them. Can you truly say that this man wants the best for you?
He says he loves me. And right or wrong, that's all I care about.
Well, he told someone else he loved her once. His wife. He promised her his undying love. It didn't last for her. Will it last for you?
I don't know, Father. And I'm sorry, but I don't care. Day after tomorrow is as far ahead as I wish to think.
Who is this man?
Someone at the office.
Don't you think the wise thing is to get another job? Never see this man again?
Father, you make it sound so easy. Just like giving me a prescription for a cold.
If it were easy, you wouldn't be here. Will you give him up?
I'd like to say yes. Really, I would. But I don't think I can. I'm sorry.
So have I. We'll come and talk again sometime. I'm always here, you know.
Yes, Father. And thank you for listening to me. You must really dislike me.
No, no, no. I dislike what you're doing. Dislike you? No, no, of course not. Miss Donnelly, let me ask you in confidence, do I know this man?
Yes, I think you do. He's my boss, Larry McMullen.
Shocked that my charming husband, social figure, yachtsman, dilettante, pillar of the church, is the most notorious woman chaser in New York, Palm Beach, and points north, east, south, and west.
Yes, I am shocked.
I'm sorry, Father. I didn't mean to depress you with my sad story. Did you see where I put my drink?
I believe it's in your hand.
Oh, so it is.
Tell me, what does all this have to do with calling off Sally's marriage?
Do you know how old I was when I married Larry?
No.
19. Sally's age. Just as young and almost as naive. Father, there are some mistakes you never get back. Marrying the wrong man is one of them. I want to save Sally that mistake.
You think Jeff is the wrong man for Sally?
Who can tell? Did I know Larry was the wrong man for me? Perhaps if I hadn't been so young, so naive, if I'd waited till I was older, had more experience.
Experience, age, they don't make successful marriages. People do.
Sally's got her whole life ahead of her. When she's married, she's stuck. I don't want my daughter hurt the way I was. Why can't she wait 2 or 3 years?
Because she's in love.
I was in love. And believe me, Father, love is no guarantee of a happy marriage.
No, it isn't, but I've never seen a happy marriage without it.
I'm sorry, Father. I'd hoped that you'd back me up when I broke the news to Sally. I know Father Fitzgibbon would have stood beside me.
Backed you up in hurting your daughter? Tell me, have you talked this out with your husband?
My husband and I haven't communicated for 10 years.
Well, it's time you started.
After I first found out about his extracurricular activities. After a while, it became kind of a game, trying to guess who the next one would be. My best friend, the elevator girl.
Kitty, don't let your bitterness jeopardize the happiness of 2 innocent people.
Don't you think I'm entitled to be bitter?
You make it sound as if bitterness was something you wanted, something desirable.
Maybe out of my bitterness will come my daughter's happiness.
You're kidding yourself.
We'll see, Father O'Malley. We'll see. I'm going to do everything I can, say everything I can to have that marriage put off. Cheers, Father O'Malley.
Cheers, Kitty McMullen.
In a way, it's easy to understand why Kitty feels the way she does.
Yes, I suppose it is.
I hope you are compassionate and understanding. Sometimes you young fellas are a little too quick to preach. Too ready to go by the book, not by the heart. That's my secret, my boy.
Father, I was all compassion, all understanding.
And Kitty?
She got crocked. Excuse me, Father. I mean woozy.
Chuck, I know Kitty. She's got too much common sense. She'll realize that by calling off the marriage, she'll only be hurting her daughter, not helping her. You talk with Larry. He may be a
Don Juan or Romeo?
A libertine, but he's a man. And maybe you can, well, talk to him on not such an emotional level. Right from the shoulder.
Yes, Father.
Lay it on the line with him. Be hard-hitting. You know, sometimes you young fellas are too condescending. You show too much.
Compassion and understanding?
Exactly.
Father, the McMullen girl and her fiancé are waiting for you.
Completely slipped my mind. They want to discuss the wedding ceremony. You talk to the McMullens again and make them see the light.
Yes, Father. Hello, this is Father O'Malley. Oh, hello, Mrs. McMullen. How are you? I'd asked to speak to Mr. McMullen.
Yes, I know. I had the call put through here. Father, I thought over what you said the other night.
You have?
Yes. I know how Sally feels about Jeff, and especially how she feels about her father. Just talk is no help. What this calls for is the shock treatment.
The shock treatment?
I've decided to leave my husband. Maybe this will make Sally think twice about rushing to the altar.
Mrs. McMullen, I'll be over there in half an hour. You have your husband there, too. I don't care how busy you are. I'm not going to sit by and let 2 selfish people ruin their daughter's happiness.
Selfish?
That's right. I said 2 selfish people.
Can't you just see it? I'll be here. Your mom and dad will be there. And the organist will be back there facing the congregation.
Hey, aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Me.
Father, do we really need him?
Well, you might be able to get through the wedding without him, but I think you'd be a little lonely on your honeymoon.
Here's Dad, sitting very straight and proud. And here's Mother, all pink and sentimental. Oh. And here's your rich Uncle Murdoch.
With his checkbook, I hope.
Oh, Jeff, it's going to be so wonderful.
Sally.
I'm sorry, Father. I forgot where we were.
Well, no, I see no harm in getting in a little practice kissing the bride, though perhaps another place might be more appropriate.
Father, I might as well tell you, I have no intention of changing my mind. I'm going to leave this man.
Nothing like an open mind.
Oh, don't confuse an open mind with a decisive one, Don Juan.
You just can't say anything without getting in a nasty little dig, can you?
Is this what happens whenever you two are alone?
We try to make it a point not to be alone.
You know, Father, like in the movies, a marriage of convenience.
How do you mean that, Larry?
Yes, I do. Look, Kitty, what you do with your life is your business. And if you want to leave me, I won't try to stop you. But why now? Why not after the wedding?
I thought I made that perfectly clear. I want to shock Sally to her senses.
By pointing me out as an example of contempt.
Exactly.
Kitty,
As
Larry.
long as it was an advantage for Sally for me to cover up for you, I did it. It's no longer an advantage, it's a liability. I want Sally to find out what men are really like, so that she can take a good, hard look at Jeff.
You hate men, don't you?
No,
Just me.
Kitty, are you sure you're doing this to protect Sally or to hurt Larry?
that's not fair, Father.
Maybe, but isn't it true?
Good point, Father.
Not that I blame her. You've humiliated her and you've betrayed her.
Those are pretty serious accusations, Father. I never realized that priests
Oh, for
indulged
God's
in
sake,
idle
Larry,
gossip.
he knows, everyone knows. You chase anything in skirts
Did you ever ask yourself why?
because you've never grown up. You're still chasing your youth, trying to prove your masculinity. Oh, there are men like that. It's just been my misfortune to have married one.
That sort of let you off the hook, doesn't it, Kitty?
What do you mean?
I mean, was Larry's running around the cause of your unhappy marriage? Or was your unhappy marriage the cause of Larry's running around?
We were very happy those first years.
What happened?
Yes, Kitty. What happened?
Why are you trying to pin this on me? Why am I the heavy? He's the player, not me.
I'm not trying to pin anything on anybody. I'm just trying to find out why your marriage went wrong.
Why? Father, do you know what it's like being married to your business partner? No, I guess you wouldn't. Funny, it's always bachelors and priests who are the experts on marriage.
Larry.
No, I'm just curious, that's all. What makes you such an expert on marriage? You've never been married.
No, and I've never laid an egg either. But I can tell a bad one.
Thanks, Father.
I don't think Larry will ever be the same again.
And you?
Me?
How will you be?
Oh, don't worry about me, Father.
Kitty, isn't it possible that you were so concerned with being a good partner that you forgot to be a good wife? Maybe somewhere along the line, Larry gained a business partner, but he lost the girl he married. Then he went out looking for her and never found her. So he kept looking and looking.
I don't know, Father. I'm still trying to digest what you said about wanting to hurt Larry instead of protecting Sally.
And?
I'll stick it out for a while. At least till after the wedding. Maybe it's the only way Sally can learn. The way I learned. The hard way. Satisfied, Father?
Not really, Kitty. No more than you are.
Mr. McMullen said to tell you he was leaving for the afternoon. Hello, Father. You must have come in while I was out to lunch.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Thank you, Miss
Fine,
Donnelly.
thank you. Goodbye, Father.
I didn't know she was working here.
Oh, for about a month. Pretty girl. I hope she's fast on her feet.
Fast on her feet.
It's not a very big desk, Father.
watching the doors if you expect someone to walk in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your wife?
No. My wife would never come into a place like this.
Unless,
Don't be silly. But it might not be a bad idea to stop seeing so much of each other. At least till after the wedding. Things are just a little emotional right now.
well, if that's what you want. Maybe we should stop seeing each other altogether.
Oh, now, who put an idea like that into your head?
Well, I was just thinking about things.
Don't think about things. Think about us.
I think about us quite a lot.
Why does a beautiful, charming girl like you put up with a man like me?
You're fishing.
Fishing?
For compliments.
Am I that obvious?
Yes. But I'll tell you anyway. You're the most attractive man I've ever met. And what's more important, you make me feel very attractive, too.
That's no talent.
You're proving my point.
You know it's hopeless.
I know.
I've never kidded you about that.
You getting a slight attack of guilt?
I might be.
Over me or your wife?
Both, I'm afraid.
Hi, Father. Tom.
Oh, hello, my boy.
Did you speak with Jerry yet?
Yes, I did.
Well, how'd it go?
Well, I'm not sure. She's a very confused young girl.
But do you really think she's in love, Father?
More likely in love with love, as they say. Did she happen to mention the man's name?
Well, no, she didn't, Father, but I got the impression he was quite a bit older. Well, you'll keep me posted, won't you, Father? She's really a very fine girl.
Yes, I know. Oh, Tom, have you ever asked her out on a date?
Well, you wouldn't be matchmaking again, would you, Father? Besides, she's already got a guy. I wouldn't want to cut him out.
Well, I would. Sometimes I think with a butcher knife.
What was that, Father?
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself.
Okay, Father. You keep me posted, huh? Bye.
All right, Kitty. I'll have Jerry send out the invitations.
I think I'll just go home from here. I'm exhausted. You don't want me there for anything, do you?
No, everything's fine here. Listen, Kitty, you'd better try to get some rest. You've been going at a terrific pace, you know. After all, you're not as young as Sally.
Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, Kitty, you take everything the wrong way.
Goodbye, Larry. Happy hunting.
Oh, Mother. Oh, I had some more names to give him.
Oh, well, I'll call him back.
Never mind. I'll drop by on my way to Jeff's. Mother, I just saw the cutest blouse. Hurry up before someone grabs it.
Why don't you close the door?
Well, I thought this was just what you didn't want.
Kitty won't be in today. I'd like to talk. Or better still, just look at you.
I have all these letters to get out.
All right. But don't be too long. By 4 o'clock, I get lonely for tea and Southern sympathy.
Thanks, Al. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Sally. What a cute outfit.
Thanks. Is Dad in?
Jerry?
Don't you know it's bad for your eyes to read so close?
Sally, I thought you were Miss Donnelly.
I'm flattered. She's very attractive.
Well, she is. Well, I'd better take a better look next time.
How do you like it?
Lovely.
Well, you see the bill.
I can afford it.
Famous last words.
Where's your mother?
Resting, you slave driver. I gotta be running.
Hey, where are you off to?
Jeff's.
Bye, Jerry. Bye-bye, Sally.
I was nervous, too, the first time.
Al, there's only going to be one time. Oh, my gosh.
What's the matter?
I forgot to give Dad the rest of the names.
You must be in love.
Dad,
Sally. Sally, please. Sally? Sally?
She's not here.
Where is she?
At my sister's. It's no use, Larry. She won't see you.
You must be deliriously happy.
Do I look it?
But this is the moment you've been waiting for, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
Then what's the matter?
I'd hoped you'd be the only person who'd be hurt.
You mean you didn't get the tiniest twinge of satisfaction?
What do you want me to say?
The truth, if it's possible.
All right. I wanted your face rubbed in the mud. I wanted Sally to see you as you are. I wanted to bring you down. That's what you wanted to hear, isn't it?
That's what I wanted to hear.
So now what? Where do we go from here? Do we spend the rest of our lives trying to destroy each other?
Kitty, I've never deliberately tried to hurt you.
You didn't have to. You did a pretty good job without trying. Didn't you think I had any feelings? Didn't you ever wonder what I must feel lying awake at night, wondering where you were and with whom? My friends talking about me. Those awful smiles when I made the excuses, trying to cover up, trying to pretend I didn't know.
I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I am.
Oh, Larry, why did you do it? You should have seen her face.
I did see her face. Did see her face. All right, send him in. Hello, Jeff.
I see you've got a new secretary.
You've had a few, haven't you?
What, secretaries, old boy?
You're loaded.
Oh, you sized that situation up in a flash, didn't you?
All right, Jeff. You came up here to tell me off. Go ahead. What's this?
That's Sally's ring. She gave it back to me today.
Sally called off the marriage?
Uh-huh.
Why?
I'll give you 3 guesses.
What did she say?
Boy, you couldn't wait, could you? You just had a monkey around in the office.
That's enough, Jeff.
So your daughter could come back and see you.
Wait. I'm sorry.
So am I. And most of all for you.
I know how you feel, Jeff.
No, you don't. You haven't got the vaguest idea how I feel.
But I think I can straighten things out.
Well, then you're a fool. Not just a plain, everyday fool, but an old fool. An old, silly fool.
you'll do what you can, Father.
Of course I'll do what I can.
Because if Sally shuts her father out, it will kill him.
Kitty,
I mean it. All those women were only a diversion for him. Sally was where he poured his love. I saw it happening, but I was too busy to care or to let myself believe I cared. Instead, I tried to compete for Sally. But it was never much of a contest. It's always been Sally and Larry. Sally gave him the love I couldn't.
now, Kitty.
I know what you're going to say, Father. But I've always been able to give more of myself to things and ideas than to people. Perhaps it's because I had nothing to give.
I think you have quite a lot to give, or else you wouldn't be here.
I can't stand by and watch the two people I care for most in the world tear each other apart.
Care for?
All right, Father. Love.
That's all I wanted to hear.
Hello? Oh, hello, Father O'Malley. I just dropped by to pick up a few things. How in the world did you know I was here?
Well, I talked to your aunt. She told me.
I'm staying over there for a while. A long while. See you today, Father? Why?
Sally, I'd like to talk to you about a few things. Yes, it is important. Perhaps you could come to the rectory, or we could meet someplace.
Of course. Do you know the interlude room?
Oh, yes, I think so. That's on Madison, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Why don't we meet there about 1 o'clock?
All right, the interlude room at 1 o'clock. And if you'd like, I'll reserve a table, okay?
Fine. Oh, and Father, I was wondering if you would do me a favor.
Yes?
If you would stop by Jeff's and just see how he is.
Is something wrong with him?
I don't know. A couple of my girlfriends called and, well, apparently he's gone off on a real binge.
I'll stop by on my way over to the restaurant.
Thank you, Father. I'll see you in a little while.
Goodbye. Mr. McMullen, please. Hello, Jeff.
Oh, hello, Father.
Aren't you going to ask me to come in?
Huh? Oh, sure. Come on in.
Who's winning?
Ah, who knows? Who cares?
Say, Jeff.
Oh, Father, don't tell me that this isn't going to solve anything. Father, do you know what my problem is?
What?
Well, Father, I am not a drinking man. But I drink, and I drink, and I am as sober as a judge.
Hello, Sally. Sally, please. I'd like to talk to you. Sally, why have you called off your marriage with Jeff? What are you trying to prove, Sally?
Anything from the bar, sir?
Now, it's a little too early for me.
That's a new line. Martini, dry, please.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, Dad, actually I owe you quite a lot. You really opened my eyes.
Sally, you're going to make enough mistakes on your own without imitating mine.
No, let me finish. I mean it. You showed me what the score is. Can you picture me sitting up with a glass of brandy, waiting for Jeff to come home from some little frolic with his secretary?
Sally.
And I thought Kitty drank to relax, because you two had such fun together. How blind can a person be? You know, Dad, your secretary...
She's no longer my secretary.
Well, anyway, she has the right idea. Have a blast. As many men as you can. And then, if the mood strikes you, get married. Even then, you don't have to stop playing around, do you?
Oh, Sally, do you think she's happy? Do you think I'm happy?
You both looked pretty happy the last time I saw you. Thank you. Do you know what the incredible thing is, though? How you pulled the wool over my eyes for so many years. You and Mother must be the greatest actors alive.
It wasn't all an act.
Don't make me laugh. Your whole marriage has been a farce. You never loved her.
That's not true, Sally.
And the amazing thing is that she took it. Some people, I guess, are just gluttons for punishment.
That remark wasn't necessary.
Oh, this is too much. You as Mother's champion. I suppose you had a tender reconciliation with moonlight and roses, soft music, fade-out laughing.
We're going to work things out together, if that's what you mean.
She never learns, does she?
And you don't think she should give me another chance?
Do you? I mean, if you can answer that question objectively.
I won't even try to answer that question objectively, but I'll tell you this. Your mother and I had something once. We lost it, but now we're going to fight to get it back. Now, the terrible thing is, Sally, you don't even know what I'm talking about, and you never will unless...
Are you going to give me a lecture on true love? Because if you are...
Sally, now listen to me. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You saw your father kissing his secretary. It wasn't pretty, but it wasn't the end of the world either. If you want to mess up your whole life, go ahead. But the truth is, Sally, you're scared.
Scared of what?
Until a few days ago, you thought you just stepped into marriage like a new coat. Now you found out you can be hurt, that you can fail, that it isn't all moonlight and roses, so you want out.
That's ridiculous.
And now you're going to smile, Sally. You're going to smile your pretty head off. But a good marriage takes work and guts. If you haven't got it, all right. But don't come around later whining about how I ruined your life. Now, if you want to leave, you can.
Father, I'll never forget the look on her face, not if I live to be 1,000 years old. And there wasn't even time to explain.
Was there anything really to explain?
Father, I was in love, and I thought that justified everything. Until I saw myself through his daughter's eyes. Then I knew that no matter how sophisticated I pretended to be, I was just another secretary playing around with her boss.
No, it wasn't through her eyes that you saw yourself. It was through your own. She just opened them for you.
I've left Larry.
Larry or the job?
Both.
Good.
Father, I didn't want to hurt him. And I didn't want to hurt her. What more can I say?
What more is there to say? It's over. No use torturing yourself.
Well,
Where are you going?
try to find another job.
Oh, no, wait now. I have an idea. You see this man, and let me know what happens.
I was going to ask you for a reference, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
If that doesn't work, we'll keep our eyes open for something else.
Thank you, Father.
Thank you, Father.
I love you, Jeff. I love you.
I was just leaving.
Thanks, Father. Thanks for everything, especially the interlude room. Say, I thought you were supposed to be on a real binge. Heartbroken.
Well, some fellas just know how to hold their liquor, don't they, Father?
wonderful wedding. And that reception, I'm still getting calls. What are you doing?
Getting my things together. I'm getting out.
But, Kitty, I thought...
I've done a lot of thinking, too, about what Father O'Malley said. It's no good our working together here. Oh, maybe after a while I'll open a little shop of my own.
No more McMullen and McMullen. Well, I guess this calls for a... What do we call it? A bon voyage drink?
No thanks, Larry. It's no more McMullen and McMullen here. But whether it's really no more McMullen and McMullen is up to you.
Look, I know this is going to sound corny, but maybe if we took a trip or went down to Palm Beach for a couple of weeks, maybe we could find what we apparently lost a long time ago.
Larry, we're not going to find what we lost on a cruise or in Palm Beach. We're going to have to try and find it in each other. Maybe we're never going to find it again, but it's worth a try.
Can you ever forgive me, Kitty?
Yes, Larry, I can forgive you. But whether I can forget, well...
That's good enough for me. Now, this is something to drink to.
No, Larry. I know we can't find what we lost in a bottle, either.
Morning, Father.
Ah, good morning, Tom, my boy.
Picking up Father O'Malley. We have a date for golf.
Fine, fine. Oh, Tom, my boy, have you seen that new musical at the Lyceum?
Our Feeling of Spring. Oh, you couldn't get tickets to that, Father. They're sold out for months.
Well, now, the producer is an old friend of mine. I have 2 tickets here. And, of course, Father O'Malley and I are both tied up. I was thinking perhaps you might be able to use them.
Could I? You bet, Father.
Of course, 2 tickets. You wouldn't be able to go alone, now would you? I understand it's customary to take a young lady. I understand the play is more enjoyable that way.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is, Father. You wouldn't have anybody in mind, would you?
No, no. But if I were to have someone in mind, do you know who I'd have?
Jerry Donnelly.
You're very intuitive, my boy. Yes, Jerry Donnelly. Poor girl might feel lonely up here on her own, all the way from Charleston.
Charlotte, Father. But how do I know that she'd go with me?
Oh, she will. I called her. You have to pick her up at 6. Dinner, the theater. But have her back home before 1 o'clock. She's a working girl, you know.
Oh, yes, Father. And thank you for making all these arrangements for me.
I'm happy to do it, my boy. You're a grand lad, Tom. It's just a shame
that my ancestors came from the north of Ireland.
No, that you're not just a bit more aggressive.